Hey there, Alicia Nicole here. So I just had a client complete the 90-day Fire Your Fat program with me. And I had a chance to speak with her after the program, and I wanted you to go behind the scenes with me and hear everything that she had to say. So she had to overcome things like stress eating, the weight not coming off fast enough, feeling like she had to deprive herself. And I hear this so much that I thought that you would benefit from it. So you want to make sure that you stay towards the end, because she's going to tell you what she's up to now. That way you can see what the possibilities are for you when you go through the Fire Your Fat program yourself. So her name is Juanita. She works full time. She has a son. She has all the things that would typically stop us from being able to complete this program or lose the weight or sign up for anything. So I think that you're going to definitely love this interview. At least that's what I hope. So let's tune in. So I would love to know, where were you at? Like, tell me where you were at before we started working together. What were your thoughts or what was going on?
So before we started working together, at very high stress levels, very unhappy with my body, under a lot of, under a lot of stress, unhappy with my body, not really staying motivated to, continue on that health journey. Um, and just a very, low self-image about myself.
Okay. And so tell me, like, what kinds of things that, since we started the program, just to kind of give, because this is going to be something that I'm going to be sharing. So someone who has, what types of things did you have to do through the program in order for you to get the results that you had? So kind of walk us through, what are your biggest takeaways from the program, since working together? And I guess we could, because I've asked you a lot. Let me back up. Tell me what your biggest takeaway was from the program. How about we start there?
Okay. Well, my one big takeaway was definitely with reducing stress. So just identifying the triggers of my stress, and then also, having some ways ahead of time on what things I can do to relieve that stress, because I'm an emotional eater. So when I get stressed out, I usually tend to just eat, and just you shared some ways that I could think of healthier choices that I could eat in the beginning, or, think of my triggers and then also look for things that I could do instead of, eating.
Yeah.
And if I train my brain ahead of time, to know these things, then my first thought wouldn't be to go automatically to the food. I would already have that mindset or be prepared to just, maybe try another method.
Yeah, I love that. And any
And then yeah, and so that was as far like the stress. And then when it comes to eating, because one thing, I was still trying to eat healthy, but then just learning it's not just about, you don't have to deprive yourself of all the things that you like. It's not just about what you eat, it's how you eat. So one, slow down when you eat, so that way you can fill it up faster and you don't gorge and get stuffed. Two is listening to your body when you eat your foods, and identifying which foods give you energy and which foods don't. Which I really learned, that was a big one for me, because I always knew that there were certain foods that didn't make me feel good, but didn't really realize how it affected me or impacted just how I make it through the day. So definitely being able to identify those, which I know I still have some ways to go, but I have identified the ones that give me energy and the ones that don't. So I know I need to stay away from those that don't.
yeah,
um, and then also just substitutes for, since I am what do you call it, I crave snacks a lot. So just some, the one sheet that you shared that said, if you're craving, say chocolate, then your body may need these things. So just looking into other things to kind of help, with that. And then also another big thing is, like the self image. It's just, looking at things without judgment. So that was like the big thing. Look at things without judgment, keep an open mind, and that helps me to have a better outlook on my self image.
yeah,
So that I'm not hating my body as much as it is, and just accepting my body for the way it is, and not being unhappy about it.
I love that. I love that. Now, one of the things that you mentioned and we talked about before us doing this was you completed. How long was your exercise challenge?
It was 6 weeks.
It was 6 weeks. So
Hmm.
you completed, and one of the things that you said before we started working together was that you wanted to be consistent with exercise, and you completed an entire 6 week challenge, and you're still going. So
Yeah.
tell me how that experience was. Like, what was your biggest struggle when it came to that?
Um, so usually my biggest struggle again is because I'm focusing on the weight loss. And I think because sometimes if you just want something so badly, like it just doesn't happen. So you kind of just have to fall back, and just not push so hard to get it. So my biggest struggle, especially even during the challenge, was the weight was not coming off. So I'm showing up every day. I'm working out 5 days a week, really intense workouts. I'm eating the foods. I couldn't drink all the water, but I'm drinking water. I'm doing the right things. It's just not coming off. So there was a time in the middle where, I started to get that, you know, um, I'm getting discouraged and I'm going to give up, but I didn't. I kept persevering. I kept through, and I just had to, just learn that, maybe my body just won't take it off in 6 weeks. I need longer than 6 weeks for it to come off. So, and then also too, even though I was eating good, I was still eating some things that I shouldn't. So it's probably that stuff that was making me sluggish, which could have been, impacting that too. But the biggest challenge was just not seeing the results that I wanted. But, but I had, instead of looking at the negative, just look at the positive that, I stay consistent with it for 6 weeks, I'm getting healthier, I'm getting stronger. So that just kept me motivated to keep moving.
And so most people, like you said, because I remember before when we talked, since we've had these conversations, that would have naturally made you be discouraged and give up. But you didn't do
Hmm.
that this time. What do you think was the difference this time? And how did the Fire Your Fat program help you overcome that?
Um, well, the one thing was I paid for this program.
Yes, let that be
for
known.
both for both of them. Whereas before, when I was doing it, it was on my own. So that was my first motivation.
Yes, I'm glad you said
um, that was first and foremost because the times I was giving up before, it was just me doing it at home.
that.
But then also too with the gym, and especially with the Fire to Fat program, having that motivator behind it. Somebody to give me the encouragement to keep going, and to give you the tools and things that I needed to not give up on myself.
Yeah, and most people, like you said, giving up on yourself, it's like they kind of have these excuses or whatever. And you let me just put this out there. You are also a mother, right?
Yes.
You also work full time, right? Like, so, so you don't have
Yeah.
like a special advantage over other
No.
people or anything like that.
Mm-mm.
And you were able
Nope.
to still make yourself a priority and show up
Hmm.
for yourself.
Yep. Get up every morning, even sometimes on 3 hours sleep, but I would get up and I would do it.
That was a big thing right in the beginning, which was, we didn't, there was not a lot of sleep going on, there was
Mhm.
a lot of stress.
Yep.
However, one of the things that I will mention is that Juanita has been the only person out of all of my clients to make every single session and show up every single time. So,
Yeah.
so with having 3 to 4 hours of sleep, having a
Hmm.
son, having a full time job, like you
Yep.
are like a rock star. Like so I definitely want to say that. And what are your new goals that you want to focus on? Now you've been able to run. Wait, hold on, because I remember I told somebody this. They were like, "What? You are signing up for a running? Tell us a little bit about that. You're signing up for to complete a race now."
Okay. So right. So I have a yeah. So I started running this year, and kind of once I started the exercising, I kind of stopped running because I really didn't have the time. But I worked it out where I could, change the time that I do, go to the gym so that I have time to exercise. So I've been back on my training program. So this was week 3. Yes, I'm on week 3. I'm going to go into week 4 of training. So I have a 5K that I'm doing at the end of January. So I'm hoping. So, I mean, I've done 5Ks before, but my goal for this one is to be able to run, if not the whole thing, to run the majority of it without having to take the walk breaks.
Yes.
So I'm getting out 3 days a week, and I'm doing my training program. and pushing myself to, start running longer. So I'm hoping by, yeah, the race is the ended the last weekend in January. So I'm hoping to, I mean, it's virtual, but I'm hoping to do that and just do mostly running, if not all the way running.
Yeah, I love that. And because I know in the beginning that was a big thing, was like, I want to be able to run again. I want to be able to, increase my time and all that stuff, and
Right.
you've been able
Hmm.
to like be on fire. So the fact that you're signing up for another race, I'm so proud of you for doing that.
Yeah.
And so before we kind of complete this, what for someone else who is thinking about joining the program, or maybe they are hesitant or on the fence, what would you tell them? Like, what would you say to them?
I would tell them just give it a shot. I mean, because it really has helped me. I mean, you're talking about somebody who's, when it comes to like, self image, body image, staying motivated, it was just those things were like struggles for me, stress and, eating and things like that. And I just feel like there were a lot of tools in the program, that helped me, turn those things around. So I
Yeah.
have a better self image, I have lower stress. Um, I have, quotes and things that I can say in my head, to keep me motivated, to keep me going. Um, and then really learning that, we when you look, you have to stop looking, through your eyes with judgment. And that was the main thing, because I know we all, really judge ourselves. And so going through the program, it really opened my eyes and helped me to see that, and how I was really judging myself a lot, and how you have to have more of an open mind, and maybe change like some of your statements, change the way, you're thinking, or, saying things.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Well, thank you so much for this. I really appreciate it. I am definitely going to be cheering you on for your race.
Thank you.
Like, you have two races, because also we're doing the one in March, right? It's
Yeah,
one.
we have one in March, so that one's a little longer. That's a 7K, and hopefully it'll be in person. So yeah, that'll be in Philly, and that's a 7K race.
Yeah, so we got the 7K and we got the 5K race. So
Right.
I'm gonna be
Yep.
cheering you on. And the best part is you're still in the community because you have lifetime access. So you'll be able to still get me, and we'll still be working together. So I love
Okay.
that. All right. Well, thank you so much. And I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
end here.
All right. Thanks.
Right, so now that you've had some idea of what the Fire Your Fat program is and everything that it encompasses, and you've heard from Juanita herself, then I want to invite you to come and speak with me. So you can go to alicianicole.com/contact so that you can book your Fire Your Fat breakthrough call with me to see if you're a good fit for the program. All right. Hope to talk to you soon.